Have you ever been driving down the road and see a 2x4 out in the wild and thought, I feel like building something today? Well, I had that same feeling about 15 minutes ago. Today we are building 7 projects using one 2x4. Halloween is upon us. The big box stores have already set up all of their aisles for Halloween, so it's time to change the dynamic on your craft booth as well to incorporate the spooky season. So let's see how many Halloween items we can build using one 2x4. It's 7. We said it already, 7. We're rolling with it. Let's go. First up is this bat table decoration. Cut a sliver of 2x4 to 9.5 inches. Place the bat on the top of your board, trace around it with a dull pencil, and then finish the transfer on the indented line underneath. Move over to the bandsaw and cut out your shape. Paint, stain, or sharpie your masterpiece however you see fit. I painted mine black and then gently hand sanded the edges to give it a rustic feel. Boo! Did I scare you? This guy was made by cutting 3 pieces of 2x4 down to 3.5 inches to keep everything square. Give them a quick sanding and paint them your favorite colors. Use the stencil to transfer the letters and use a paint pen to finish them off. You can glue these into place either vertically or horizontally, or you can even leave them separate in case you wish to sell your car in the future. Quite possibly my favorite project of the bunch, these cute little kitties. Set your miter saw to 45 degrees. Cut one piece at 3.5 inches so that you don't end up with a weird triangle. Return to 90 degrees and cut the other 3.5 inch piece. Grab some glue or adhesive and apply it to the bottom section of the board. I let the wood glue soak into the end grain before applying a wee bit more to finish the job and stack them like so. Paint it black and add the kitty features with a paint pen. This decoration will make you a little less afraid of graveyards. Cut your 2x4 accordingly so that you have 3 ghosts and 3 tombstones. And I'm not talking about the pizzas. Get them cut out and paint them however you wish. Trick or treat, inches and feet. It's a non-metric joke. Cut one piece of 2x4 down to unlucky 13 inches, and another at 8 inches, and one more at 4.5 inches. That is all you need for this one. Doodle the candy corn on the 4.5 inch like we did the bat, and cut out the shape. Using Halloween colors, paint the 2 boards and your candy corn shape. Stencil on the lettering and use a paint pen to make them pop. I covered this candy corn in the fall haul video, but I still think it's a Halloween item more than fall. Set your miter saw to 15 degrees, make your initial cut, flip the board and cut the board at 1 7/8 of an inch. I cut out 10 of these. I definitely rode the struggle bus while trying to paint these and had to go over different sections multiple times. I find it easier if you paint the center section and then creep up with your spray paint for the top and bottoms. The last bit of my board was going to be scrap, but I grabbed 2 bolts to finish strong. Drill 2 holes in the sides, and it's better if they aren't perfect. Paint it green, give him a face, and bam! Additional tip, keep an eye on your hand toes when using the miter saw and the bandsaw. We don't want any real blood to get on these projects. And if you have a Dremel tool, you can use that to gently sand the corners of these projects instead of using sandpaper. It takes literally seconds because you're just scuffing the paint off, and it takes it from a kind of cheapy, lesser product to a nicer product. I like to do this. It looks good on this guy, the boo sign, trick or treat. Probably wouldn't do it to the cat, but you could do it essentially to any of these projects that you wish. Makes them a little bit more fancy. The gobble sign from the fall haul video is reversible so that you could use it as a spooky sign. If you haven't watched that video, check it out. The candy corn and kitty cat can easily be made out of 2x6 material. Makes them a little bit bigger if you have that laying around. A little easier to paint as well for these guys. But look how adorable. You can also make all of this out of a 1x4x8. A little bit easier to cut out, easier to manage. Not really cheaper in my case, but you could make them out of a 1x4. And it is easier as well to cut out the shapes if you're using a jigsaw and you don't happen to have a bandsaw. Might limit you on a few of these projects, but 1x4 looks pretty good as well. You could also glue the ghosts in place instead of letting them freely move around. I kind of like that they can move around, and this little guy can be sat on the top up here, and if you had some glue, you could glue them here, you could glue them here. All the tops have a rounded edge that will catch this lip if you wish. And like I said, if you wanted to, let them float around, fun. Otherwise, you could glue them onto your project and then makes it a little bit more sturdy. It's up to you. The face that I had drawn on here is actually from the small plans for the jack-o'-lantern build that we did last week. There is a smaller plan and a larger plan if you wish to build jack-o'-lanterns, and a video how to build all kinds of different size coffins, 2 different size coffins. And that video is pretty fun to watch as well. This video wraps up everything that we've got going on for Halloween. We are moving on. Bat! Since you guys have stuck around, I'm going to show you how to make this baby tabletop coffin. It's a little bit smaller than the other ones that we had made previously. Go ahead, just grab some scraps that you've got. You're going to put your board upright like this to get your angles to cut like this. Now, if you had laid it down, it's going to make a wider piece. And if you want to do that, do it. I like mine upright because I like that style. So with our board upright, we are setting our miter saw over to 6 degrees. This way, being upright, I also don't have to deal with that because that makes things a little more complicated. This swivel, beautiful. Go ahead, cut the end of this off so it is straight. Well, rather not straight. You get it. Now I'm going to flip my board over to 2 inches. And you're going to get a piece like this to where both the angles are facing each other. Then, leaving our board like this, I'm going down to 3.5 inches. Do not flip. And that will give us 2, and you can see the angles match each other, so they are not reversed like they are on this piece. Then we are setting our miter saw over to 10 degrees. Lock her down. And again, we are just going to buzz the end off. That way we have our clean 10 degree. Same thing, we are going to flip our board, take it to the 1 3/4 inch mark, and cut. So we get one of these cute little pieces. And then without flipping, we are going to 6.5 inches. Make our cut. And then you are left with 2 of these. Again, the angles match each other. If you make these exact same things but reverse your angles, you get this. 6 degree on top, 10 degree on the bottom. Things don't match up. So, build them correctly. The bottom is 6 degrees, the top is a 10 degree. So our tiny pieces being 10, these being 6. With this, we are going to place our top piece, line these 2 pieces up like so. Bottom goes like this. Line these up like so. Boom. To hold everything together, I simply just put wood glue in the joints, and then I fire 2 pin nails in the top and bottom pieces. These center pieces, again, when you're shooting nails, they aren't going to go like this very easily, and they tend to shoot out. So avoid nailing this center section. Honestly, a little bit of glue holds these together beautifully. It's a tabletop decoration. Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this content. My goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. So a like would be greatly appreciated. And for the 70% of viewers who are not yet subscribed, go ahead and click on that beautiful man right there. So that way you're not missing out on awesome content like this in the future. Again, thank you so much. All right, it's over. The video's over. You can watch another one if you'd like. Bye.